Geeky Classic Rock. It's now time. Are you ready, boys and girls, for a Classic Rock Raw?
I wasn't prepared, but here we go. Here we go. We all know that yesterday, I have to tell you, I, like the world, was so sad to hear about the passing of Olivia Newton-John. I did not expect it. You know, we all knew she had been battling breast cancer for years, but I just didn't expect that. I really didn't. I love her. I will always love her. I think she had such a wonderful spirit about her. We all grew up listening to her and watching her. So yeah, very, very sad. But have you never been mellow? Come on. That has to be one of my Olivia Newton-John favorites. And that was from 1975. And I just remember singing to that song as a little girl. I loved it. Absolutely loved that song. Not sure why, but it was just a great song and I know all the words. Dame Olivia Newton-John was born in the UK in Cambridge and was the youngest of three. Her late sister Rona was married to the late Jeff Conaway. Remember him? He played Nicky Knicky in Grease. Remember how he liked to give hickeys to Rizzo? Come on. Those two, really, they cracked me up. Olivia began publicly singing when she was 14 and recorded her first single when she was 18. Olivia's first album was released in 1971, and Bob Dylan wrote the title track, If Not For You, which was on his double album called Self-Portrait, then re-recorded it with George Harrison. That was Bob Dylan, by the way. This was definitely a launching pad for her career. Let Me Be There was her second album and also the title track, another great song of hers, but it's a country tune with a non-American singing it. And I guess some people had a problem with that. I don't know why. Again, I was a kid, but I just loved bebopping around to Olivia Newton-John. And that song just had kind of a church feel to it, I thought, like in the chorus. Helen Reddy convinced Olivia to move to the US, and that totally paid off because that's when the album Have You Never Been Mellow came out in 1974, and she had already won a Grammy and got Female Vocalist of the Year from the Country Music Association. Olivia went on to get 10 number one singles, and take a guess what the name of her 1976 album is. Go ahead, take a guess. I'll tell you. Don't Stop Believin'. I did not even know that. Don't Stop Believin'. All roads always lead to Journey. I say it all the time. Who knew? And her autobiography is also called Don't Stop Believin'. Did you know that? I did not know that, and she released her autobiography in 2018. Olivia was in the stage play Grease and was then asked to be in the movie by producer Alan Carr, and that happened at a dinner party at Helen Reddy's house. I mean, Helen was definitely a helper for Olivia. Grease was the number one movie of 1978, and she was the second woman behind Linda Ronstadt, who I also absolutely adored, to have two songs in the top 5 at the same time. I mean, those ladies just were it. They were the it girls for sure. In the 1980s, we saw her perform with Andy Gibb and put out another movie, Xanadu. Sorry, guys. I loved that movie. Did not get great critical acclaim. No, it did not. However, the soundtrack did amazing. Song Magic, that hit number 1. And Suddenly with Cliff Richard, Sir Cliff Richard, hit number 4. And Xanadu with ELO hit number 8. So the soundtrack did great. Movie, not so much. I still loved it. Physical, that song Physical, got her banned absolutely everywhere because the video was so saucy. I mean, really, we're talking 1981 here. And the video was so tame compared to what we see today. I don't even watch the videos because I know what's going to be there and it's bad. And the songs, I don't know how more vivid people can get with their words. But yeah, Olivia Newton-John was not saucy. But in 1981, she was considered to be saucy. So she was banned. The song was banned. It's kind of crazy. And now you have people doing leg raise challenges to the song. And it's like, she's so viral on TikTok. And that was 1981. 10 years later, she learned that she had breast cancer. And in 2008, built the Olivia Newton-John Cancer and Wellness Center in Melbourne, Australia. She has been a philanthropist for decades and continued to write and record and appear in movies and TV. Had her daughter Chloe in 1986, and in 2019 there was an incredible auction at Julienne's, and Olivia donated her Grease outfits and raised $2.4 million, which all went to her cancer center. I mean, incredible, incredible human being. Olivia was an avid advocate of the use of medical marijuana as it helped ease the pain she experienced from the cancer metastasizing, and her daughter owns a cannabis farm. Olivia died at home at the age of 73, and she seemed like such a wonderful, wonderful person. Someone as big as her, as acclaimed as her, she seemed to be just very down to earth and connected with everyone around her. And such a huge loss, of course, to the music community, the whole artistic community, huge, huge loss. And of course, our blessings and love to her family and friends. It was just crazy. When I read that yesterday, I'm like, what do you, I think, I don't even know if I was in shock.